From WESH 2, this is continuing coverage of Milton.
Of course, a lot of us can agree it's a stressful time as we all try to keep our homes and families safe during the storm.
Gotta take deep breaths. Some may be feeling uncertain or just downright scared. Summer Knowles spoke with an expert about handling our mental health through the storm.
As hurricane preps are underway, sandbags, water, groceries, and gas, all things seemingly a top priority for Central Floridians right now.
I don't know if I could take it again.
Because it's going to come right over top of us. It's a little scary.
But as a strong hurricane heads our way, something not always top of mind, your mind. Psychotherapist Shirlette McCullough says protecting your mental health leading up to and during a hurricane and in its aftermath is crucial.
What are the most common mental health challenges that people face when a strong hurricane like Milton is approaching?
Stress is one that is obvious that we talk about, okay? Stress is the inevitable, right? So the other ones that are associated with hurricanes is a lot of anxiety, mild to moderate anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. For those of us who have gone through a hurricane and have experienced devastation or loss of any kind, whether it's mild or moderate or severe loss or even death, we could definitely be going through some of those symptoms around post-traumatic stress disorder.
What signs of distress should people look out for in elderly family members or loved ones during hurricane preps?
So one of the main ones that I want to share is isolation. Right now is not the time for us to isolate. Right now we need community, we need our neighbors, we need our friends. Banding together during this time helps a lot, soothe a lot of mental illnesses, and it helps a lot with healing going through these really traumatic times. So being mindful of those people who want to isolate, being mindful of those people who are talking about uncertainty, and some people may even talk about suicide.
So in addition to being mindful and being prepared and remaining calm, the best advice:
having a balance with the news, okay? All of us want to be informed, and there's nothing wrong with being informed, but having a balance with the intake of news. Another one is being mindful, being present, being able to do deep breathing exercises, being able to read books, or healthy distractions is what I call them. So some people will get on social media, some people will listen to music, some people will dance. All of those things are different coping mechanisms that would definitely help during this time. But one of the main ones I want to say is staying connected to those people that love you, those people that care for you.